All right, everyone. Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whoever and wherever you are. This is Raquel, and I am the host and the moderator of this meeting of Speech Anxiety Masters, or SAM for short. It's the world's only speech club that enables persons who stutter to become fluent. Sam is sponsored by StopStutter. It's the world's only community of ex-stutterers and those fast becoming ex-stutterers. StopStutter is dedicated to the cause of removing stuttering and speech anxieties from the planet. Yeehaw! By using the neuroscience method to stop stuttering, which is based on neuroplasticity, or the brain's ability to change itself. And it was created and is continuously expanded by the very own Lee Lovett and StopStutter. We support all legal and moral methods at work, but these meetings will focus only on our neuroscience method. The neuroscience method is based upon retraining the mind to override old stutter memories with new fluency memories. And this is achieved by joining our program. That's right, folks, practicing its methods and obtaining speech therapy provided by certified stuttering specialists who are ex-stutterers themselves. The most important single method that we teach is this. Listen up here. Persons who stutter must hold the tone throughout all words as they speak, just as I'm doing right now. Our goals are to, number one, stop stuttering, of course. Number two, to teach ourselves to love to speak in all situations. Number three, to elevate our lives through mind training, of course. Number four, to improve our mental health and to provide a support community of ex-stutterers to help persons who stutter achieve and maintain fluency, defined as speaking in all situations without appearing to be a person who stutters. Our rules. Okay, we actually have 5 rules here, y'all. Number 1, no one is required to say anything, but everyone is encouraged to speak, including those who stutter on every word. Number 2, before speaking, please tap the raise your hand button and be recognized by me, the moderator. Number 3, if you don't wish to speak, that's fine. Feel free to post a chat to everyone or any individual, including me, the host. No one is required to reply to the chats. Number 4, do not say anything that you would not be pleased for your parents or your grandpappy or your grandmammy or your children to hear you say. Number 5, finally, please turn on your mute button and keep your mic muted until you're called on to speak. Be advised that these meetings are recorded and may be shown in whole or in part by StopStutter on its website or elsewhere. Now, before we start, y'all, please click on the 3 dots in the upper right-hand corner of your square. It should be right around here where my finger's pointed, and insert your name, your first name, followed by a hyphen, and your country. Last names are not needed here. Everyone wants to know what to call you and where you live. Don't miss now the last 10 minutes of the meeting where Coach Lee gives a wrap-up and his tips for the week. To stay on schedule, please limit your comments to 3 minutes. We will have to cut off all comments at 12:50 p.m. New York City time. I'm sorry, y'all. As such, do not be offended if the time remaining doesn't allow me to call on you. Now, today's speaker is Paul from the UK, and his story is truly inspiring. After a lifetime of stuttering, he stopped stuttering just 5 days after joining the program. 5 days, folks. And now he's here to share just how he did it. Please give it up for Paul. Paul, the mic is yours.
Thank you, Raquel. Thank you for that introduction. So, I'm going to start now. So, I used to stammer. I have ADHD. I have learning difficulties, and I tried to separate them a while back as like in 3 different piles, but I come to the conclusion that was impossible to do. So everything we got here today is my stammer, my ADHD, learning difficult, all intertwined like a knot. So we'll start from my birth, because to me that is very important, because I was born as a blue baby, and that, if people don't know what that means, is that lack of oxygen. So I stayed in hospital for 2 months in an oxygen tent thereafter. So when I first started to talk, I would be 2.5 years of age. And then when I first talk, I stammered straight away. So I never knew anything of fluency whatsoever. I understand some people do, and I didn't, because then I went to school and everything went okay. When I in infants, I didn't remember much about that until I get to junior school, because there was a major incident there because of the teachers. The teacher had asked me to read a passage out of a book. So when they did that, I kind of read it, and I stammered on every word. So when I stammered, I just wished the whole floor to open up and swallow me down, as many of you probably experienced the same kind of problems what I had. When I went to speech therapy, probably when I was 4 upwards to all through my all through my childhood as well, and that didn't really help much. I can't really remember much about that. So then that was kind of where the speech therapy was. Then I was in junior school. I was lacking behind of other children because of my learning problems. So I went to a special school, and that helped me to catch up with the other children, because it was quite small classes, and that was kind of thing helped me and understand more because of my learning difficulties that back then. So then I went back to normal school, what I call it, the high school. Back then, it would be about 12 or 13. So I joined the Boys Brigade when I was 10 or 11. People don't know what Boys Brigade is. It's a youth organisation that is connected to the church. That means you have to go to church every week, and it's a part of the tradition, and if you don't do that, you get kicked out, as simple as that. So I was there for about 3 years or so, and I would be doing that. Then I will be, sorry, sorry, was in a band, so I used to play the bugle, and every fourth Sunday we used to do a parade at the outside. So we went round the streets for about 5 minutes playing before the church and then after the church. So everyone was there, so it was really good, and I used to like it quite a bit. So we used to have game nights and stuff as well on a Friday and play snooker, darts and stuff like that, and did badges and things. So yes, so let's boys be gay. Um, when so now it's when my mum did something. I don't want to go into that because yeah. So then I ended up in a children's home for 3 years, from age 13 to 16. When I was 13, just imagine how bad it was, because my stammer was really bad, and a new environment, and I couldn't see my parents for the first 12 months. So this is really hard for me. Then gradually we was allowed to go out with my auntie. Um, then my parents are allowed to go through my parents, and we used to go home at the weekend, then come back on a Sunday, which I didn't really like. So then I did that up to the age of 16, when I was allowed to stay home permanently. And I was, um, then I went, then on my Boys Brigade, I could have gone back to Boys Brigade, but by then I was 16, and it will be more as an officer kind of thing. And because of my speech, I didn't want to do that. So I ran away from it all and didn't even go there. Then I didn't go back to church for 50 years thereafter. So, so yes, so I have had a few accidents, 3 major accidents. One when I was 10, when I got run over when I was 10 and knocked a few teeth out. That was fine. Then my hand was a major accident. I was carrying some trays at work, slipped over and cut all my fingers. I had 100 stitches, and they tried to replace my tendons twice and failed twice. So that's so I had 6 operations in 10 years, and the 6th one there decided to cut out a section of my finger and push it, the middle section, and push it the end bit back, and they put a rod into it so it won't bend back. That was the problem, was curling back. So, and that was there. So I then got run over about 2.5 years ago, and I had a great big hole in my knee, so I had to go to hospital for that. And I kind of got over that and stuff. So when that happened, I went back to church. I started to go back to church because I got anxiety. I had really bad anxiety, panic attacks, everything like that. I called the ambulance and said they didn't want to take me because it's just a panic attack. So after that, after that, going back from, so then then Jesus said to me, I need to go back to church. This is where my faith will come in now. So my faith, it's going back to church. So I went to church for, I found a little church with only 20 people, and that was quite near me. It's just a car ride away. So I stayed there for over 13 months or so. And one Christmas, we had a great big Christmas carol service. So I knew I could cope with people. I knew I can people with lots of things. Yeah, I cope with lots of things like that. So I knew I can cope with another church, because the church down my road, I never went because it's so many people there, because I never really. So I went to that church, which also Jesus told me to go to. And then when I was there, the first thing I saw was somebody could get baptized. So I got baptized. I knew from that day on I was going to get baptized. So I got baptized on Easter Sunday. Well, everyone knows that's a very important day in the Christian calendar, as you know. So I got baptized on that Sunday. I read my script. This is why I don't like doing readings, because I'm doing this from the heart, and everything's for the heart. There's no script I'm doing. It's only little notes and stuff. So yes, so from that I got baptized. I did my speech. I stammered on my speech, and people tell me it wasn't as bad, because Tara has seen that video as well. So from there, I kind of got into the church a lot more. I used to just go into the church and get out as soon as I can, because I didn't want to speak to people. So gradually I got into the church a bit more. I start to go to Bible study as well. And when I went to Bible study, it took 4 goes for the minister to help me, to encourage me to go to Bible study. So when I went, I didn't really talk much. I just sat there and listened, and didn't take part because of my speech. And they was very supportive. It wasn't them, it's just me, didn't want to speak. And nowadays it's completely reversed, because I'm probably the last person to go to out of the door on the Sunday. I will talk to everybody, and I love talking. So, and sometimes they say, can you stop talking? So that is a really plus. So yes, so when I did my I had a 2-hour meeting with the minister for my faith testimony. So because he wanted to make sure he did everything, I was on the same page what he was. So we had that meeting, and in that meeting he said, Jesus said you don't have to stammer anymore. And he told me this, and it was really good for me, because this is the steps I took to stop stuttering. So when I stopped stuttering, I kind of, before this, before I even heard of anything, before I looked on anything, I never spoke to a stammerer for 25 years or more. So when in in a Bible meeting, there was an issue, a subject come up as bullying. So when I got bullied and that, so these are the steps I took to stop stuttering, as I looked for, because of that, I looked for Facebook pages, for stammering. To my amazement, I found loads of pages with them. So I also was on there. So I found Michael O'Shea page, and Tara Connery was on that page as a special guest. And from that day onwards, I knew what this program was all about. So from that day, I knew what I was doing. So I joined. I spoke to Danny maybe 4 days prior me to join here. So he gave me a 3-1-1. That was normal. So when I joined on the 7th of June, I joined on the 8th of June. I then I stammered on the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And I stopped stammering on the 13th, and I have never stammered since. So that's only 5 days. So when then I carried on doing a 1-2-3 punch and reading aloud, etc. And I began PWSS in 35 days. And that to me is pretty good. Also, when I joined, I took the 1-to-1 sessions out to help me. At the same time, I did it in the same time as I did the what's it? Yeah. So I took it all out in one package. So this is to me what I did. This is why I probably stopped stuttering, but also Jesus has helped me as well. I'm pretty sure with that, because what I've done and all this, it just comes into it so quickly. So these are little steps I take for my faith and to hear, and it all so kind of to do this the thing. So yes, so when I remember I went on holiday a few weeks ago. So when I went on holiday, I remembered about this thing what I used to do. When you get a hotel key, you're meant to hand it in every time you go out of the hotel. So when I went out of the hotel, I didn't use to hand the key in because I have to ask my number every time I come back, and that was too much of a effort, and I used to stammer all the time back then. So I used to I went to a coffee morning from a different church, and I went and I saw a cleaner. When I come out, I was waiting for a bus. I saw a cleaner. So she asked me a question. Then I just carried on talking for about 10, 15 minutes until the bus came. So I love speaking to everyone, and every time I do, it's great. And I never used to do voice messages until Tara got me to do voice messages, because because I never ever had the confidence to do that before this program. This is really good program for me and everyone who don't believe this program works. It really does if you put the work in. So if you put the effort what I put in, then it can happen to everyone too. So I, on a daily basis, I do my my affirmations in the morning and night. I do reading aloud about an hour to 2 hours, depends what I'm doing. And then I do, this is made different to a lot of people. I do Zooms. This week, Monday, I did 5 Zooms. Then up to now, it's around 10 or 11. So in total, included Cindy's one, what I did 3 a.m. this morning. So I put a lot of effort into it. So I spend 3 to 5 hours every day doing this. So it helps me. I never, even when I'm on holiday, I do this. I take my laptop with me and still do it because I don't like doing it on the phone. So that's my own opinion. Advice for peer abuse is this. Every, if you do what I do, it will work. You just give it time. Don't judge you on me because I'm a little bit different to most people because it just was like that. You know what I mean? So I have also joined Toastmasters recently, last week, and I've been accepted and I'm a member now. So on the 3rd of September, I'm doing my first big speech there. It will be about stuttering and how I overcome my stammering. So, yeah. So from the first day on the 8th of it to today, it's 68 days altogether to do a SAM meeting in that short space of time is very good to me. So, yeah, so from that day, so from then, so I just wanted to say thank you for Coach Lee because he's helped me and I now really confident what I do. It doesn't matter who. I did this morning before I did this speech. I did a speech at church for 10 minutes. I did a speech and everyone really liked it and really appreciate what I've done. So I just wanted to say thank you for Noah and Tara and Cindy because Cindy's helped me on the 28-day challenge because I've done the standard. Now I'm on the advanced. So I'm still doing that. And I just want to say what I'm going to do in the future. Hopefully, maybe thinking of writing a book. I'm helping other people now. I do buddy calls and things like that. And if anyone wants help, please just call me and I will help anyone over. This is what I want to do, help with other people. Danny has told me he wants me to do a, um, uh, what's it? Oh, I've forgotten it. Sorry, forgotten the name. The, the, oh, well, I'll come back to that later. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so from that onwards, so I just want to say thank you. I just want to say this last bit is really sad because my mum, this is in memory of my mum and dad. Uh, so because they never saw me in the, um, never saw me got baptized, never saw me with my speech. This is the only thing is really sad for me because I just wish that happened earlier. It may not because it's just me. I know they are looking down on me and helping me that way. And yes, I just want to say thank you for listening to me. And that's my story. Thank you. And hand back to Raquel for questions.
Thank you so much, Paul, for sharing your story.
You're welcome.
You really made me tear up at the end there.
Sorry, sorry.
Um, just know that you would have really made your parents proud. So,
Yeah,
um,
thank you.
and I just want to say that for me, it is a privilege to be the host of your session, and that I just really love how your faith was such an integral part of your journey. So Thank you so much for sharing your story. And now I will call on the audience members in the order in which I have seen your hand raised. So first is Ankit from India. The mic is yours.
Awesome. The speech was so fabulous and nice to hear. I was almost thinking that how you must be feeling all those time having the bad days. And thanks to God that you are here and speaking so awesome.
Hmm.
So not much to say.
Thank
Uh,
you.
the story was so long and so beautiful to hear. I love the entire thing. And yeah, happy to hear you have uh, awesome voice now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ankit. And next up is Cindy from Arizona.
Yeah.
Thank you. Raquel, first, you are truly the best Southern Belle Sam hostess. I can't do
Right.
it like you. You're going to have to teach me. Okay. And Paul, the
Thank you.
hardships that you have endured in addition to your stutter, the blue baby, ADHD, learning, getting sent to a children's home at 13 to 16 without having your mother visit you for 1 year. I mean, my heart goes out to you. I mean, it's unbelievable the hardships and the accidents, all the stuff. I really liked the hotel key story. For those that don't know, in the States here, we get keys. But when that you go internationally, it's typical to ask the desk for the key. Well, when I was young, I went internationally for my job lots and I hated to ask for the key. Just that little asking for your room was so hard for me. And of course, I stuttered, Lee. Sorry, I didn't have the tools then, but it was just hard. Um, I know there's lots of hands raised that want to talk, but
Believe Emily's up. Yeah, mate.
but I
So,
did want to say one thing. So,
yeah.
what is your favorite affirmation now? I would like to know.
Um, what the separate one?
Yeah.
Probably, I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because they're all, to me, are important. You know what I mean? It's not one special one. It's just them all. Um, the ones I got are
Mhm.
all quite close to me. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
Mhm.
not one
I
special.
love that answer, Paul. That is wonderful. And I'm so happy for you. 5 days, you have such determination. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you so much, Cindy. And next up on the mic is your favorite comedian, Steve.
First off, I want to say, Raquel, you are doing a fantastic job hosting the meeting. I think we all loved it, and I'm proud of you. Paul, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. That was a very powerful story. I am so glad that I attended this session today. What I want to ask you now is, what was your first coaching session like?
Um, my first coaching session was with Noah, and it was okay, but I'm not sure I even stammered on that, because it's such a short period. Because I think my first coaching session was after that, so it's more practice the crutches and stuff like that. Because it took me 5 weeks for the word linkage to happen. Yeah, so it was good. I loved it, and I love every session I do. I still got 3 sessions left. So on those ones, I'm going to work on my Toastmaster talk, and the other 2 I'm not sure yet. So yeah, we done 2 sessions on for the SAM meeting as well. So that's what I've been using my one-to-ones.
Cheers,
Cindy.
brother.
Cindy, I just wanted to note that Paul mentioned taking 5 weeks or some such to get on top of the crutches. Typically, it's 1 to 3 months for most people, but some 6 months, some a year, some much longer, but most are doing it. I would say Paul was right in at the early part of the curve there in the time that he took to get enough handle on the crutches to stop humiliating himself. That's all I wanted to insert.
Thank you so much. Next up is our lovely director of stuttering therapy,
Yeah.
Princess Prathusha.
Thank you so much, Raquel. First of all, great job hosting. That accent of yours, mind-blowing. Fantastic job, Raquel. And coming to Paul, I think he's been in this program for 68 days now, and he just entered as a person who stutters. And now he has grown to an extent where he is not only confident enough to give this SAM speech, but he's also attending Toastmasters. That's incredible, Paul. That's an incredible achievement. You should be so proud of yourself. And I also know personally that Paul is a very hard worker. I see him in every single GPS because from the feedbacks that he, provides, I always get notification and it's always Paul. Paul attends all the GPS. So
And
so that
and I feel all the feedbacks in as well.
Absolutely. That's how I know that you are indeed attending all those GPS balls. So great job. So it just shows how hardworking you are, and that just shows in how fluently you speak. And I also have to mention about Noah here. Noah has been an incredible CSS, and I think with his proper, coaching is has actually contributed uh, in Paul speaking so beautifully, right? So great
Yeah,
job,
but
Noah. Thank you so much.
it's like a package as well. If you
Absolutely.
take one, if you
Right.
didn't have the one-to-one, it won't work as quick. It's a whole package. It's not just one thing. You need to do
Yeah.
them all in one go. That's what I
Yeah,
did from
and
start.
I'm just curious to know a lot more about that, Paul. So my next question is, what resources in this program has helped you the most?
As I just said, it's not one thing, it's everything, because I look at it as a whole package all over. It's not just your affirmations or 1, 2, 3 punch. All those 2 are fine. Then you're reading aloud, that's another one. And then I didn't tell you, I do half an hour and 10 minutes on the I've forgotten it. What's the other
The
thing?
hypnosis? The
Yeah,
hypnosis?
sorry, yeah, I've forgotten it. Hypnosis. So I do the 10-minute hypnosis visualization one. I prefer that than the other one. So I do that every night, yeah, as well. So yeah, it's
Great.
helped me. So if people don't think it's going to help them, but it will.
Yeah. Absolutely, Paul. So just to summarize, you've been doing your 1 to 3 punch regularly and you've been listening to the hypnosis. And apart from that, you've been regular with your group practice sessions and of course, private stuttering therapy, right? So just
Yes,
so that everyone knows like
all one
what all
package.
work you have put in. Yes. So that's what Paul means as one package. So thank you so much, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Prathusha. And next up on the mic is Tara from Ireland.
There you go.
Well,
This is
thank you, Raquel. I told you yesterday I was going to reply to you in a southern accent, so I hope I'm doing okay. Anyway, done now. Okay, Paul. Okay,
Right.
you know, Paul, we talked earlier in the week, and you know what I mean. Your stops were there, your hands were there, your modulation. And look at that proud smile, Paul.
It's fine.
Okay, so I just want to say Paul came into my life with a bang at the start of June. I've never known any man like Paul, and that is true. So, what I want to point out here is that I really, really believe that the private stuttering therapy sessions really helped Paul. I was on just about all of them so far. I've missed one for sure and maybe two. But do you know, I remember, Paul, in session 1 and 2, you could not link. You
I know
found it
that's
very hard to stop. Yeah. And I just want to say it's because of your sessions with Noah. You know, the private therapy sessions are so good because everyone here knows what I mean when I say everyone's stutter is unique. Okay. Everyone has a different background. Everyone has different thoughts. Everyone has been through different situations with their stutter. The private therapy sessions, I know, they really helped Paul to kind of just like Noah helped Paul so much to actually find out, you know, where did his stutter come from? What will help Paul the most? And it just goes to show, you know, even if you have, as Paul has, you know, ADHD and learning problems, I'll call them, but they're not because it has really benefited you now. But like no one knew what worked for Paul, you know? So the private therapy sessions, you know, there's a real connection, I think, between the student and the coach. It's easy to come here and say, you know, do the 1, 2, 3 punch. But it's another thing when you've all these thoughts going around in your mind. How am I going to apply them in the situations that I'm in? And I really think, you know, one of the, you know, like the golden ticket for you, Paul, in a way, was your private therapy sessions. I was on them all up until number 5, I think, and then I was away. And
you
hadn't
missed two.
hadn't we just seen yeah, 2, okay. Here we go. We saw Paul grow every week in them, especially from session number 3. And also, just to really quickly say, I know everyone here does not have the time to do loads of practice sessions each week, and some people here have, you know, an extremely hectic life, might have a few young children and all. But if you're having, you know, any problems at all, the private therapy sessions just help you so much. And as well, don't do what I done in 2022. Don't compare yourself to anyone else on this program. You may have been here now 4 months, 8 months, a year, you know, even if it takes you a year to stop stuttering, what is a year out of the rest of your life? So I can't go on and on because I'll just be taking up other people's time. But Paul, I think you're amazing.
Good.
You are having a wonderful day, and thank you so much, Paul. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. So
Thank you so much, Miss Tara. And next up is our favorite singer-songwriter, Noah. The mic is yours, Noah.
Well, thank you so much, Raquel. And fantastic job, of course, as being the host. I can only butcher a Southern accent, so I will stop it. Um, Paul, I hope you are proud of what you just did. Incredible. Your pace was great. You kept it going. You didn't speed up too much. I'm very happy. I hope you are too. And I think you're a real testament to what can happen when you apply utmost consistency to this program. I think one of the most important ingredients to becoming a PWSS, of course, is the consistent practice because we need to unlearn a habit and we can only do this with consistency. If we only do it like a couple times a week or so, if we feel like it, it's just gonna drag on into infinity. But you have just absolutely put 110% to it, and it shows. You deserve every little bit of praise you're getting. Thank you so much, Paul.
thank you.
Great job. I will cut it off here because we have a lot of hands raised.
Yeah, the other thing I forgot to put in there, Danny said I can do a podcast, so I will look into that as well. So that's the thing I want to do. Yeah, fine.
Thank you so much, Noah. And next up is Miguel from Brazil.
Hello everyone. Thank you,
Right.
Raquel, for hosting today. And Paul, I sadly lost the first minutes of your speech, so my apologies if my question
Okay.
was already answered. You sound really good. I also love your hand gestures, and you sound really positive. And as someone that stirred for over 6 decades, I imagine that you have had to face and defeat a lot of negative beliefs about your speech and about yourself. So, how beneficial has my training been to you? Thank you.
So what was yeah, sorry. So yeah, my beneficial for this program has been very good because my affirmations made all my negative things go away because I just think positive now. I change more my negative things to positives. So my affirmations are really good because I never used to do that, especially back in December 24 when I had my anxiety and stuff like that. It's all negative because that Christmas I didn't really speak to anyone at all. So I've gone from negative to positive. That's just through affirmations and stuff and their work. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you so very much. And next up on the mic is Gro from the UK.
Thank you. An excellent Southern accent, Raquel. My very first bullet point here was actually Stop Stutter, Murder Mystery Party with Raquel, question mark. Paul, congratulations on your first sound presentation. I think that you are one of those rare unicorns that we have in this program, with you having stopped stammering in just 5 days. And that made me think of the other people who have been a part of this program for a lot longer, who are still stammering. And Tara from Ireland did touch on this, but I wanted to hear if you have any advice or something that you would like to say to the other people who are comparing their speech and their journey to yours, and who might feel discouraged.
Yeah,
Thank you.
so I would say to people, don't compare with me. This is your journey, not mine. It's the only person who can stop stammer is you, no one else. I can't stop it for you. So you shouldn't be comparing other people with yourself for anything like that, because it's not going to help you. I think Tara touched on it because she used to to see what other people did. Then she got a little bit disheartened and stuff like that. So it's your journey, and it's your journey only. And if you compare it with other people, then it may not work. You know what I mean? So you just need to put the work in, and you will get the results. I know other people will. Yeah, that answer it. Yeah.
Well said, Paul. And next up on the mic is Talib from New Jersey.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I just wanted to say, Paul, that was an amazing speech, and I really loved how you combined all the different parts of your life and how that led up to your amazing speech. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now is Mark from the Wild Wild West in America. Go ahead.
Yeehaw! Now I hear that Southern accent. Before I was gonna say that I don't even hear a Southern accent from our host, but I did quickly want to share some lyrics from a Tom Petty song that is called Southern Accents. And here it goes. There's a Southern accent where I come from. The young'uns call it country. The Yankees call it dumb. And I got my own way of talking, but everything is done with a Southern accent where I come from. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Paul, I wanted to say that your journey is fantastic and very inspiring. Thank you for sharing. My question is, what do you feel contributed mostly to your amazing 35-day transformation into PWSS?
My one-to-ones with Noah, they are very important. So if people have not done one-to-ones, I suggest to start them. And if you can do them, because I've done them and it's helped me. But that's my opinion of the one-to-ones. they're really helpful because it completes the whole package. If one part of that package is missing, it may not be the whole thing, and it may not work as quick as me. I doubt many people will be quick as me, but some people can take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months or so. So Noah, I believe, took 12 months. So it can come at a later stage, but it just needs practice and practice and practice. I do, as you know, a lot of practice sessions, so that has helped also.
Wonderful. Thank you again, Paul.
You're welcome. See you around soon.
All right. See ya.
Thank you both so much. And next up on the mic is Scott from Michigan.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask you, Paul, what was that like when you heard the minister tell you that Paul, Jesus will heal you from your stutter, and 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 how has that, how has your entire speech journey just helped you in your relationship with God?
Yeah, because my speech journey, before I even come to StopStutter, I was still doing speeches even before I come to StopStutter. When I come to StopStutter, the speech I did after, just 12 days after, it was choppy, but I never stammered on my faith testimony. So that from that was 12 days in. I did that, and it's really good. So yeah. So faith is a great part, because I wouldn't know where I would be today if it wasn't for my faith, because I was going downward spiral in that December. It's just going one way downwards, and he's got me out of it, and he's put me down now, that I don't stammer now. And Moses used to stammer in the Bible. It's mentioned his slow speech, and my minister said that means he stammered. So you can interpret how you like, and yeah, that was a quite tearful, because I opened up quite a lot about my mum and stuff, so that's quite tearful for me. Yeah, so yeah, hope that answers your question.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much, Scott. And now for our final commenter is Dean, the CEO. Go ahead, Dean.
Good afternoon, Paul. I just wanted to thank you so much for having the courage to share your faith. And I can see it's made such a tremendous difference in your life. And it has in my life as well. And I just wanted to say thank you.
Because if I said at the beginning, if you take one of these things out, it doesn't work. I can't take any of this out, because if I took one thing out, it doesn't work. It's not the whole story. So what I wanted to do today is the whole story, not part of the story, what I have to do in my churches and stuff, because I only have 10 minutes max. So it's so here I can share the whole story, and yeah, so
Well, it was clearly a huge part of your journey, your faith in God. So thank you again for sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
Wish I could give you a hug, man.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? So
God bless you, brother.
Yeah, it's welcome. You're welcome.
I see that Stop Stutter Board Chairman Ambassador Sieber is still with us today. Ambassador Sieber, do you have any final thoughts or comments today?
Yes, I do, Raquel. And the first comment is to commend you on how smoothly you handle being moderator of this wonderful Saturday event. We may put you in there permanently the way you're doing. So we may ask you to do more than you expect. Our presenter, Paul, I have a number of quick thoughts on this. First of all, I remember commending you for participating in Saturday Sam it seems like a short period of time ago because I had not seen you on it before. And of course, since I'm not an operative within WSSA, I'm the chairman and I don't sit in on everybody's journey. I was very impressed how you participated from the beginning. I didn't know your journey really until today. And I must say, the first part of the presentation, Paul, I thought, my goodness, this young man, who is not as young as Yasim, who's 14 years old, but is still so emotional about what you've gone through. I felt the first part of this went through all of the torture you went through in your private life while you had the demon in you and before you found WSSA and Fluency. I thought it was really one of the toughest stories because you're obviously a grown-up now. You're not somebody, and you suffered this back in, when you're 10, 12, 15, a teenager, which has to be the toughest time in life to try to endure this with peer pressure on you. So then when it comes to the questions and the people who know your journey, like Danny and Steve, Prathusha, of course, knows it, as does Coach. Then I find out that you basically found WSSA, you went through process with us. And at one point, you came through Fluency. I remember Steve indicated that you took 5 weeks to find linkage, at which point Coach Lee stepped in and said, usually this is a 3 to 6 month process. So you've got a great learning aptitude, my friend. Keep it up. And then later on, when Mark was talking, that you had gone 35 days to become a PWSS. That is really meteoric. That's a rocket ride. And I commend you for everything you've done. And obviously the people at WSSA who have contributed to this, beginning with Coach Lee and Dean and all of the others who we mentioned here. I thank everybody for participating in all this, providing the lateral support to someone like Paul, who found Fluency and beat the demon. I commend all of you for your great work. Thank you.
I just want to say I'm 64, so if I can do X 64, a lot of other people can too.
Thank you so much, Ambassador Sieber and Paul. And now I open the floor to Coach Lee if he has any final thoughts.
Thank you so much, Raquel. As hostess, you clearly deserve a 10. Ambassador Siebert was right. We should make you a permanent hostess. Heaven help you. As to Paul, I've never heard a more touching and more inspirational talk. I could go on and on about it, but all time allows me to do is thank you so much for it. I will note that there's been a lot of good advice today, first from you, Paul, and then from others with their questions and comments. The statement you made, do not compare your speech with others, that should be enshrined somewhere that all people with speech issues could see it and look at it every day, all day. It was further noted that all journeys are unique, and that's true too. But some of our methods have proved to work in thousands of cases. Many of these, hundreds of them, we've posted online in short videos. So all I can say is keep using our methods until they become your fluency habit. They will. Before I let you go, as you know, I like to read aloud. Why do we read aloud? To hear ourselves speak fluently and to slowly create a habit of fluency and even some form of eloquence. Not that I am, but I try hard. In that vein, I'll read a wee poem now. You know I love poetry. This is a poem called To a Skylark, and it's an excerpt from that poem written by Percy Shelley, 1792 to 1822, considered to be one of the greatest romantic poets ever. It's very short. I'm going to read, there's 4 stanzas of 2 lines each, and one of 4. I'm going to read them twice because I want to make sure that I'm clear and you get it. We look before and after and pine for what is not. We look before and after and pine for what is not. Our sincerest laughter with some pain is fraught. Our sincerest laughter with some pain is fraught. Our sweetest songs often tell the saddest thoughts. Our sweetest songs often tell the saddest thoughts. But if we were things born not to shed a tear, if we were things born not to shed a tear, I know not how our joy we ever should come near. I know not how our joy we ever should come near. I once shed tears over my own stuttering. That was a very long time ago. 99% of PWS can do as I and many of you have already done. We can speak fluently and we can train our minds to love to speak anywhere, anytime, to anybody. Thank you again, Raquel, for hosting. I hand the mic back to you.
Well, thank you so very much, Lee, for those comments. And now it's time to close our meeting. I really hope that you enjoyed exchanging thoughts with other ex-stutters and those fast becoming ex-stutters. Don't forget to check the chat room to sign up for private stutter and speech therapy and begin your stutter-free life today. I will now end with our motto. Feel free to say it along with me. If you can say one word anywhere and anytime, you can say and love to say any word,
Any word,
anywhere,
anywhere,
and anytime.
anytime.
Until next Saturday, folks,
Yeehaw!
have a great
Oh, yeah.
weekend.
You're
Have a great
amazing.
weekend, y'all.
Woo-hoo!
See y'all later.
All right. All right.
All right,
Good
all
job,
right, all
Michelle.
right.
Great job.
Later.
Love you, Dad.
Unlock your voice with Stop Stutter.